So there we go. We know all 10 players now. Isak definitely the underdogs here, but we're going to be on Dust too. And if ever there was a map to try and make an upset on, it's definitely Dust. So welcome to the show, everyone. Let's see if NiP are going to come out towards the winners match smooth and clean like we kind of expect, or if the Danes are somehow going to be a little bit more annoying.
Oh, they certainly have. I mean, they can. And look at this already. Kierby starting off strong with the headshot on Freiburg. No entry frag for Freiburg, but look, Forest and Exist just lighting them up instantly. 3 kills in the blink of an eye, and they're not done yet. Exist is hungry for another one, but Kierby will shut him down and bring this back to a 2-on-3.
Mupschi coming up from behind, but this flashbang is going to have to do really well against Viflaren, who's standing out on long. Unless he wins this battle, there's really no chance anymore for the CT side, and he won't. So, yeah, Kierby, he's stolen the Glock, and it's all fun and games right until Get Right shows up. So NiP are going to win the pistol round. Kind of expected, though. It was a good headshot from Kierby, who's definitely one of the guys to watch. I would say Kierby and Freeze are the 2 people to really keep an eye on on this team.
Sure. I mean, throughout the qualifiers and also in recent memory, Kierby has really stood out as one of those up-and-coming Danes, you know, getting into those, trying to break into that top tier, right? So Kierby, Mupschi as well, you know, he's actually, these are actually guys, him, Barry, Mupschi, you know, they've played together at Aces ROG and actually won that tournament over 3D Max. You know, there's been a couple roster changes since then, you know, Freeze joining up with the lineup and everything. But still, this is definitely a team to be reckoned with, you know, not to be taken lightly here. So they're still behind, you know, Dignitas and Copenhagen Wolves, I guess, in like the Danish ranking. But they've definitely got some potential. It's very interesting to watch them play.
Yeah, they do. There's no doubt about that. Actually, speaking of Kierby, he's going to be picking up Forest, who did only have a pistol, and then second kill comes in on Viflaren. So bomb's been planted for NiP, but the CT side they're certainly putting in a little bit of work in this round.
Doing some big damage. And Barry managed to sneak out here onto CT slope. He's going to get spotted, though. Get Right manages to catch him out in the open. And Get Right actually managing to turn around and not get flanked out on Cat. This is a bit of an awkward position, however. It's going to come down to Exist holding it long, and these guys are sneaking up on him. This is looking like a Danish round. It ends with the knife. And we're singing Kierby's praises, and he actually gets the knife at the end.
I'm not sure if there's enough time.
There is not enough time.
No.
But still, dude, he just finished with a knife.
Yeah, that's definitely very good. But the fact is, if he hadn't been running around like that, if they had known exactly where the bomb was, he could have... Actually, if he hadn't knifed, if he had just ran up, got the kill instantly with the pistol and ran over to defuse, it's not impossible if it had just enough time then. So, great play from Isak. Definitely very cool. And obviously, anytime you can knife NiP, fun is to be had all around. But that's a big issue. Mupschi here has named his knife the Slaughter, by the way. Just in case you're wondering, that's Danish.
Thanks for pointing that out, Anders.
Yeah. Gotta do some translations, right?
Exactly.
I've always wondered when speaking Danish would be, you know, actually an advantage, but sometimes I guess it has to be.
I do like this coming out here from Isak, though. They do go for the Kevlar buy on both guys who managed to save rifles from that last round, so they can potentially do some big damage here. We're going to have to see NiP play very clean and get onto these sites fast. Forest is going to get, or rather going to catch Freeze out, but Xancer trying to put that Galil to use, trying to cut them as they come across.
Yeah, Mupschi picking up a good kill here. Barry with the kill on Viflaren. Now Get Right is getting a return, but Exist was so low. At least they get the bomb into the site, and there wasn't Exist carrying it there. That would have been awful. So bomb plant is en route, and it's 2-on-3 without a kit again here for Isak. So they got to move a little bit quick.
Oh, and they managed to spot him out in the open. Freiburg, he's going to get overwhelmed. Mupschi putting that AK to use, and they managed to get the double kill. Mupschi, double kill with that stolen AK, and it's a quad kill from Mupschi in this round. But talk about NiP just committing to a B-split push and getting completely picked apart. Isak, they were striking from everywhere.
Wow, that is... I mean, I think when we were at DreamHack Stockholm, we were talking about this with Thorin a little bit, and I already miss Thorin. And he said, well, if you're going to be the top team, you might as well come out guns blazing and just go all crazy and nuts, because if you play your standard game, chances are you aren't going to beat them. So, I mean, Isak bringing it right now. If they'd lost that round, they would have been ecoing again, and NiP would have been almost gifted 4 rounds straight in a row. So, a big risk, but the payoff, well, we see it already.
It works out just fine, doesn't it? And there's the shot from Freeze onto Cat, so Freiburg already down. This is an eco round coming out here from NiP. They have some flashes. They got a molly to clear up the side as well, so there's going to be nading everywhere, but Xancer's alive, and he throws the money nade, does massive damage. Get Right actually dying from the jump down into CT.
Oh, but NiP will get the bomb plant, so it's actually still a pretty big win here for the Swedish team, and they're going to have to wait
That incendiary was, yeah. I mean, they have kits now. All of them have kits now, so it's not the end of the world.
Sans is like, should I try and defuse this fight? Can I be Olofmeister just in Danish? And it's like, no, with 8 health, it's really not going to happen after all. So he waits around a little bit. That's still a second round from Isak. NiP, because of the bomb, actually, without the bomb plant, they would have been able to buy. So, but they do get a lot more grenades because of it. So it's still pretty helpful here. And we're at a 2-2 scoreline. Much too early to tell, you know, who's going to win, but I mean, you gotta be impressed by Isak anyway. Just already putting a little bit of pressure on here.
Oh yeah, they've shown by getting the frags and by good individual performance in particular that they can hang here with NiP. Question is, do NiP have anything clever to bring to the fore here? It's just a straight up 2-1-2 from them. Really taking their time, NiP, just getting control of the map. Fiflaurin eating a healthy nade. It was a very dangerous nade right to the face, drops him down to 60 HP. Look at how NiP have spread out right now. I mean, they've had... I mean, it's not often that you actually see a 2-1-2 setup in on a T side of Dust 2, but exists. He's going to make it work. Picks up the first guy, and he's actually going to make this look like a B-split.
Yeah, if he can just keep making noise, maybe the guy in A is going to go down, and that will be a big opening. Kirby holding against 2 people coming in, flashbangs out, and great timing from NiP. That's going to leave Freeze out over and long. They're going to flash his way into him as well, and they spotted him. He needs backup quick, or he's just going to go straight down. So, yeah, Sans here comes in with a good spray down, but this is not enough. mupsg in a 1-on-3, and NiP making a... Well, yeah, he's just going to go straight down, running up with a Molotov in his hands. This round, nice opening from Exist, but actually what's really fun about this round from NiP was just how effective those flashbangs were. 2 flashbangs to give up 2 kills, and that's it. The round is pretty much won from there on out.
Yeah, very clean. Also facing together at Longhouse, not just Freiburg, because for a second there I was worried that Freiburg would kind of just YOLO in there and take the fight, but the flash and then him peeking with Fiflaurin, both of them just guaranteeing the frag like that. Yeah. It's the little things that make the difference, and NiP definitely showing that, well, I mean, their teamwork is one of the best in the world, is some of the best in the world, so...
Yeah, and I mean, if they hadn't been flashing Freeze over and long, he could have got the entry frag on someone coming around the corner. It could have been a slightly different situation. They just nailed it perfectly. So I guess that's kind of what we expect from NiP, but we haven't always seen it. You know, again, in the past couple of weeks, they've been really shaky. So nice start here, and actually a bit of a miss here from Forest, but Freeze does go down to Exist, who seems to be good at getting those entry frags in the middle.
Yeah, not often actually that we see Forrest missing shots like that, or at least a given one. But he seemed to kind of like twitch out of the way there, so a little bit odd from him. We'll see if they're going to be finding another opportunity here. It's going to be the flash in and the peek from Freiburg. We'll see if he finds any kind of targets, but it's going to be the molly just bouncing out onto the site. They're hoping to force somebody out into the open, but it's going to be Zancer holding from Goose with Barry here to support on CT slope.
And Barry's actually, Osanti is very much alone, and he just goes straight down. Freiburg creeping in, and a bit of maybe miscalculated defense coming out here from the Danish side, as NiP is making their way in pretty much flawlessly.
Yeah, and Kirby making a lot of noise over here on long as well. Fiflaurin really pacing himself though. Gonna wait until the kill is pretty much for free there. So that's nice patience coming out here from Fiflaurin. Forrest is going to track Mary down on B slope, and that's going to be another round here for NiP. Perfect round for them. No saves possible for Isak eSports. And so now we actually have Isak looking down the barrel of a save round of their own. They have to go for pistols here. If they could have held on to 1 or 2 rifles, that could have been a big change, because they had 2 guys, 3 guys maybe, who could actually get a reasonable buy-in if they could just drop for Kirby and Mups. But now it means just straight up pistols for them.
Yeah. The way he was holding up an A bomb site kind of mostly makes sense. If they had someone down on the slope with him, that could have maybe helped out to do a little bit. But I feel like he was too much alone in that A bomb site. Nice attempt to pick off Exist, who seems to be playing really well. You got to give it to him. He's been landing a lot of kills in the past couple of rounds. Fiflaurin going to take down 2 people without really breaking stride, and it's up to Freeze to find somebody with this P250.
Now, Fiflaurin has been playing very well for NiP as well over the past few days, so his performance has definitely improved. It's kind of like Existence since the recent Titan roster change. Existence has just been getting so good at landing shots these days, so really a pleasure to see. You know, these players that we don't usually see sitting at the top of the scoreboard with the frags, but they're getting there. They're getting there.
I feel like Freeze has to have a bigger impact with this AWP, because
1, 3, and 7 right now. He needs to have a bigger impact, period.
Yeah, but I think his role is with the AWP. They need him to have like a really big performance. I don't think they're going to gain that much from putting him on a rifle. Not that he's exactly bad with it, but I just think if they want to beat an NiP, then it has to be like stellar AWP play. And trying to get the boost up here. Not sure they've actually been spotted that much yet. Although NiP are making their way up. He's going to miss the flick, and Barry will pick up Get Right anyway. So it works out after all. That was actually down from the middle here.
Surprised. It almost seemed like Freeze was supposed to be like kind of the worm on the hook there for Barry to go ahead and peek forward from the mid doors, but Freeze really sticking it out, and he actually draws his NiP's attention to him. Now NiP, however, are starting to push their way out into mid, and Barry taking a lot of damage over here, Drops down to around 80 HP. He's still going to get a great spray down onto Freiberg, who's leading the charge as usual for NiP. The flash goes in. Barry is blind. Freiberg needs to land the shot, and he does.
Yeah, but now the big problem is Mups is very much alone on this bomb site. That's a good headshot. Comes out onto Exist. Going to go for the re-peek, and he does go down to Forest. And now the backstab comes in for Fuflaren. Really good timing. It still leaves Forest alone in a 1-on-2 like this. So Sansier and Freeze, they pretty much have to win this round. They're going to be back to ecoing, and NiP will have not just what's already a good start, but they're going to have a great start to the first half here.
Does he actually come out, though? Look at this. For a second there, I thought Forrest might push behind that flash. Zanser really taking his time. Flash goes in, and that's about as clean as it gets. That was a very nice flash there.
No kit. So they are going to have time,
yeah,
but
he'll have the time.
That's really dangerous, actually, still having it. But yeah, they'll have time. 3 to 5. They do lose a bunch of players, but yeah, the flashbang timing was pretty much on point there.
It's surprising that Forrest didn't actually try and go back into upper dark to hold from that position. Decided to stay forward. Like if he's going to push out, okay. If he holds around the wall like that, if he's going to push out, okay. But I was curious, maybe just trying not to be too predictable there.
Yeah.
Still, I mean, Isak walking away with a third round here on their CT side of Dust 2. This is very good, and it's going to keep the pressure up on NiP because NiP now are going to have to spend a lot of their money re-equipping in this round, and this may put them in danger of ecoing. So Isak definitely not letting NiP get anything for free or easy here.
Yeah, NiP going with a very standard spread, as we see a couple of people in upper, lower, and also controlling long. So there's really not a point on the map right now that the only thing they don't know is whether or not someone's holding short, but if they figure that out, it opens up a lot of options. Amongst other things, that famous B-split push that really, I mean, almost could have worked out last round.
It was a close thing. It was a very close thing. And unluckily for Fuflaren, there was still somebody holding long behind him. If he had caught both CT members in CT spawn that last round, it would have been a brilliant move. He would have eviscerated the retake there for Isak, but it didn't work out for him this time.
I'm wondering if NiP are going to try and go for a plant on the new side this time around, because look how stacked up they are on short and only one guy down on long. Wouldn't be surprised if they're just going to try and smoke and flash their way in, put the bomb down, and then continue to hold short here. So we'll see. Already jumping down into CT spawn. The flashes, the smokes are all in here. And Freiberg's actually going to be making his way through. He does get taken down by Barry. Existed there, and now the plant is in. On the new side, well, they don't even really need to hold anything because they've killed half the Isak team, or more than half. Kjærby's left alone here. Gonna pick up the first kill. Goes for a second, but Exist is there. Nice turnaround. Triple kill here from the Swedish captain. And then NiP make it through. But yeah, that kind of four people on short push has become a lot more popular since the bomb site was extended beyond those boxes.
Yeah, it's a Titan play practically now. Well, not a Titan. I guess they were like the first ones where we were just like, holy crap, they're just smoking and flashing. The whole purpose of the round is for them to plant at that new position. So they were like the first team that we really saw doing it. But I mean, it's now going to become a very common thing. It's so powerful as well if you just want to ignore long, because that's the beauty of that plant position. You're able to just walk up onto that site, ignore long. So if anybody's holding from long, it used to be if you wanted a real short push where your teammates are going to be able to defend from short, you had to plant and you'd be exposed to long somewhat. So now as a T side on Dust 2, you actually have the option to plant on the other side of the boxes, completely ignoring long and allowing for your team to have a much safer position to hold the site from.
Well, flashes in. Forrest about to walk into a whole mess of Danish people up here, but they take care of it just fine. So, I mean, Isak guessing the right spot, but it doesn't really matter.
Exist and Forrest both have Tech 9s. Okay. I'd love to ask their opinion right now and just see, you know, what's this recent change, because with this last patch, there was, again, a buff to the Tech 9, adjusting the aim and recoil. So I'm curious to see, like, what the pros think about it right now. And we already have 2 guys on NiP going for it, so that's interesting.
All right, Isak. The last couple of times when they were ecoing, once they started buying again, it always involved an AWP, but because they kind of keep getting diminishing returns on the money here, they're really not in a good position. They've got 2 FAMASs. They've been trading early on here, but they've taken a lot of damage on Sansier, and Mopsty coming in with a really critical kill on Get Right. They got to get back on track. I actually think Isak need at least 7 rounds on this first half. I think they are up against an opponent that's so strong that they got to do more than on average here.
Yeah, they do. And 7 rounds may even be... Like, if they could pick up 6, that'd be good. Because I think NiP are a little shaky on their CT side right now as well on Dust 2. Like, Dust 2 is definitely not NiP's strongest map.
Oh, the Noah Tower.
This is Isak kind of fighting back. I mean, they've got a 2-on-4 situation right now, Isak. So all advantage to them. Now it comes down to whether NiP can actually manage this plant. Nice nade there onto Mupsg, though. That's going to rattle him somewhat. But then the surprise moment from Element. Barry gets boosted up onto the site, and he flanks both NiP players. So there's your 4th round for Isak. 3 members surviving as well. This was a great round for them.
Kind of almost a nonsensical play from NiP to throw the Molotov before the HE grenade, because you can be pretty sure once you throw the Molotov, people are going to be falling back. So before the HE grenade afterwards, you give people a little bit of time to fall back.
Yeah,
it seems like the opposite combination makes more sense.
It's also really risky. I think they wanted to have, I mean, they're using that Molotov basically as like the smoke, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they're hoping for, to be able to get that plant down fast. Of course, unfortunately there for NiP, they didn't have a guy watching towards CT spawn to spot that boost coming in from Icepick.
Oh, this could be great. They could catch this tower off, and actually Freeze trying to move out of the way. He's going to pick up a kill, and Mopsty with one. The no-scope doesn't connect, but Freiburg takes down Forest. So there's mutiny in the NiP ranks, and it's ended up in a 2-on-3. And if they can win this round, Isak, maybe there's a chance they can actually force a bit of an eco on NiP at some point here, which would be the ultimate goal. Mopsty's very low on health, but his teammates are here to back him up. And if they've got the right idea, definitely. Right now, they've got a good idea what's happening.
Let's see his answer. Oh, there's a gap in the smoke. He's going to be able to spot if they try and work their way out through Upper Dark here. Comes down to timing, and if he spots Fiflaren, but that smoke goes down, and now it's going to be Mopsg spotting Fiflaren through that gap. Mopsg with both kills, and Mopsg only having 3 HP. A triple kill, 3 HP.
Is Half-Life 3 been confirmed?
I was about to say, like, you know, what else can we come up with here?
All right. I mean, 5 to 7 as a scoreline is pretty good. I'm not unimpressed by Isak.
And Mups is, I mean, he's racking it up right now. 14-1-7 is his scoreline. So ahead on the team by a large margin as far as the frags are concerned. Good work by him.
Pretty aggressive moves from NiP here. They're going to catch anyone on the corner. It's so close, but they just barely don't. And Freeze in the middle will pick up the first kill on Get Right. Now they keep charging up, and they're actually going to catch Kjaerbye here in a pretty uncomfortable position. He almost gets the kill, and maybe some smoke through here or some shots through would be enough, but now I think Isak actually can't fight this any longer. They should, at the very best, look for exit kills, and at worst, just have to run and hide somewhere. That was a really aggressive move from NiP, and it almost horribly backfired on them.
Yeah, I am happy to see NiP going for aggressive moves like that, though. The run and gun situation, very quick, I mean, basically a very quick split from them, because Freiburg came up on short and picked up a kill as well. So kind of leaving just Freiburg be Freiburg and do your thing, Freiburg, go get the kills for us, and running out just full YOLO onto long like that. NiP with the run and gun style that really is their style. So pretty glad to see that they're able to make that work despite it being a bit of an unfavorable position running out like that on long.
Yeah, potentially anyway. I mean, could have. I think if Kjaerbye had a little bit of backup, then that could have definitely ended differently. Mopsty taking a fight he didn't need to take, and then as a result, they have 1 AK less, which is actually has a really big impact on this round. They would have been able to have gone for a full buy-up if they'd had that. That they're going to go for it anyway. They feel like it's the 14th round. We want to try and end at 7 instead of 6, so I don't know. Yeah, they could have had an AK instead of a Scout here, and that will make a difference in the end. Scout's not the worst weapon on Dust 2, I suppose, but still prefer the AK.
Yeah, just Scout is...
It's really hard to spray people with a Scout.
It is, but then, you know, you can do the acrobatics with the Scout. That's what makes it so fun, right? Just ask Sean Gears.
Sean Gears, Chris J, whoever you prefer.
Dude, that's not even a decision. That's not even a choice there, Anders. What are you doing to the poor fans? To the viewers?
Well, Barry is certainly trying to imitate somebody. Kjaerbye with a really aggressive push out for the first time over on long. He catches Fiflaren. And down the middle, it's going to be Mups picking up Exist. So this is a great start to the round for the Danish Vikings, fighting the Swedish Vikings.
That's a bit awkward right now, actually. Molly is going to go onto that site, but the man holding is on a slope, and Forrest isn't going to really have a target. There's 3 guys alive on long right now, and Freiburg just goes charging down right into their midst. That does not work at all. 3 very quick kills there for Isak eSports. Freiburg really just trying to get in their face very quickly there, and I mean, characteristic style, I suppose. I'm just going to bull in and get all the frags, but that time it just did not work out at all. Isak, they stood their ground, and they managed to get him by the horns.
Yeah. Move aside, I'm Freiburg. I've got this under control.
Sadly, he is not the Juggernaut.
Well, I mean, it feels like it sometimes, doesn't it?
Yeah. And then, what was it? What's that power? Yeah, there's like one that can take your superpowers. Basically, that happened.
That's the little boy, isn't it? The tiny child that they're holding in a room. I think it is. It's been a while since I've seen X-Men, but
yeah,
All right, guys, it's the 15th round, the last of the half. Isak already making a really big impression, actually. And NiP not looking as strong as they should be right now, I think. But another round here could still be enough for the Swedes to make it all the way through here. Good fobbing by Freeze is going to pick up the 1 kill and almost gets a second one there. And Exist C-Set 75 style is going to finish it off. And we are looking for Fiflaren to make a 1-on-4 down from long. Not really that likely. And he's actually going to go down to Kebu. So 7-8 finish. They get that 7th round. Now, I said I thought this was where they needed to end up. But I'm rarely, if ever, right about anything. So we'll see.
No, this is, I mean, this is where they needed to end up. I mean, this is definitely a very good scoreline as far as Dust 2. I mean, any team would be pleased with 7 rounds on your CT side of Dust 2. Like, that is a half very well done there. Yeah. So, I mean, Isak now going into the pistol round. I mean, if they can pick up the pistol round, this could spin out of control very quickly here. And I don't have the utmost confidence in NiP's CT side on Dust 2 these days. Like, it feels like Dust 2 has really been... I mean, they've played it in the past in recent times, and they're always saying, like, okay, back to the drawing board, right? We have to figure out how to play this map again. It doesn't feel like there's the confidence there for the team right now on this map. So, Isak, if they can get a strong start and pick up the pistol, this could get out of hand really quickly here.
It could. They do have 4 body armors on the NiP side, so they can take long-range fights. Exist has the pistol to do it as well. So now, Isak want to get a little bit closer here. Fiflaren kind of falling back to a safer position. Backup is coming in quick. NiP's playing it well so far. Sansi will pick up the first kill for the terrorist side, but they need to stop taking this fight and keep rushing up. They're letting NiP get into some very good positions right here. And Forrest is going to come up from behind. There's the one, has the knife out, and he's going to stab Barry. So there's a bit of a revenge here from the NiP side, and we're looking at a 9-7 scoreline. Very important round, of course, for the Swedish team.
Incredible that Forrest actually gets the knife. There's balance, Sanders. That's what it's all about, right? Karma.
Yeah.
You know, pistol round knives. What was really nice about that position there is that Exist, he managed to play from Gandalf right behind that box, and Fiflaren was up close. So it was like Isak, as they rush up a slope, they're trying to go like, okay, where are we shooting right now? Who do we have to go for? They turn to Fiflaren, Exist is shooting at them. They turn to Exist, Fiflaren is shooting at them. And it just turns into this really uncomfortable position where Isak had to land the shots instantly, and it just didn't happen. They kept running up there one at a time to walk into that crossfire.
Yeah, and I think the play you have to go for in that position, once you go for the long rush, is you have to get close and then keep like going. You can't stop on this ramp where Exist is holding right now. You got to keep going. Even though it seems like counterintuitive because you kind of want to, you want to readjust, you want to reload your Glock, you want to get into it, but getting stuck on that ramp is just not a comfortable idea at all. But they have actually brought up this round. They didn't get the bomb down, so, they weren't going to go for a 3rd round by anyway. Sansia's moving in here with the scout, and Forrest is more than ready for it.
Yeah, so difficult with that scout. You need to land a shot first, basically, because you usually don't have Kevlar, and aim punches. Forrest hits you first, you're not getting that kill. So Freeze has got the scout. Now Freiburg is going to find him, and that was a flawless anti-eco. NiP not dropping a single point of HP, keeping everybody alive, and just shutting down Isak.
Yeah, and actually a big disappointment from the Danish team. This would have been fine if they only had Glocks. We wouldn't really have been that. That would have been expected. But because they had armor and C-sets and a scout, they should have got at least a couple of kills this round.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what they're banking on, right? They're making that investment. It might as well count as a buy because they're spending all of their money on it. But now it looks like it's going to be Freiburg having a very fun time. Quad kill, just shuts them down. But look at where the bomb is right now. Barry up on Cat gets caught by Exist and Get Right.
They were hoping, and actually I would have preferred if they really wanted to go for this Cat play, why not just bring a couple of smokes, maybe some flashbangs, and then just bank on getting the bomb down really quickly. The fact that they actually are still able to mine this round, so yeah, I guess it doesn't impact them that much, but Freeze actually has a scout instead of an AWP, and he's still peeking middle, which is definitely brave.
Doesn't hit that shot, though. Doesn't hit the shot as they go jumping past. Isak really focusing so far. I mean, this is very, very clean play here from Isak as well. I mean, 1-3-1 setup. They've got a man moving up on Cat now. MupsG trying to take a position to be able to get some information, and they see just how passively NiP are holding this right now. NiP not forward on Cat. Not really peeking into upper dark, not really pushing around long. NiP are just content to sit back and wait. Fiflaren has got his AWP, and he's even going to have the smoke to buy more time now as well. Good timing on that smoke. Still fairly early in the round, but still, that's going to slow Isak down somewhat.
What can the Danes show us on this terrorist side? That's the big question, because they have a good showing. They had a good showing on the CT side. They got 7 rounds, which is still where they're at. This is their first buy round of the second half, and looks like they're going to go for a short play. And Fiflaren is here. He's going to have to come up pretty big with the AWP, I think.
Yeah, this is when Well, there's the flash, and this is when he has to channel his inner Kaylee. Takes the shot, but he doesn't get it. That looked like it was dead on.
Oh, and this is something that NiP used to do before the bomb plant changed. They would just fall back and leave Fire, but that doesn't work the same anymore. Sanseer probably shouldn't have jumped down there. They could just plant on short and leave it up to NiP to come and get a little bit closer here. Get right sprays down, nice control. And Caribou's going to get the return frag, but I think actually he's coming up. Can he get a little bit more? It's still a 2-on-3. He has to come up big. He's already got the 2 kills. He sprays, can't get the last one. And that leaves Barry in a 1-on-3 here. With the bomb only just being planted, it's not enough. Exist will pick up a triple. And I actually think the Danish team misplayed this round quite badly. Sanseer didn't need to jump down, but if they really wanted to jump down, they might as well have committed with 2 or 3 people. If they thought they were going to surprise NiP doing that, then just go all in. And then they were clearly not playing for their bomb planting position either.
Oh, let's see. Just over the shoulder. Just over the shoulder.
Yeah. But NiP falling back like this is something we saw them do all throughout Cologne when they were playing on Dust 2. They just fell free fire and back, and I think NiP need to reconsider that, because when you can plant on the new side, it has not even close to the same impact on the round.
Well, it's a falling back, but it's also a retake, basically. You're saying, okay, we're giving them the site, and now we focus on the retake. If I stay alive, it's all good, right? That's what's happening.
Yeah, but that retake works 100 times better when you know that they're going to be planting the safe plant, because that's what you knew before when you couldn't plant on the other side. You could be sure they were going for the safe plant, and you could just go and retake it, because they weren't holding long, and if they were held short, who cares? Because the bomb was on the wrong side, essentially.
Well, on the wrong side of the box,
yeah.
Right.
So because of the new bomb planting position, that play is just nowhere near as powerful. But it obviously worked out for NiP because Isak wasn't playing for the short position anyway. So
yeah, well, that's what you have to wonder there, is that they did go for the short plant, see? Didn't they?
Yeah, they
did go for the short plant, but they didn't keep the members alive on Cat. They didn't just lock down Cat with 3 guys. They kind of threw him all over the place. Or they tried to. Get Right did stop the 1-man from getting back onto Cat. But still, a bit awkward there for Isak, you're right. Well, NiP right now sitting on 13 rounds, so it's looking fantastic for the Swedes. They've got plenty of money in the bank as well. So this is really shaping up to be an excellent second half here on the defense, on the CT. Oh. But there you go, Fiflaren getting tagged by Freeze. The scout strikes Anders, and he's going to get the jump shot as well.
That's really close. Fiflaren not really fast enough here. Freeze just coming out on top. And but you're right, NiP are still making their way to the winners match right now. They're only 3 rounds away. Kind of wish we could keep playing the second half, because I feel like Isak are all the time on the verge of doing something. So I want to see if they had a little bit more here, but Barry's going to get shot down by Get Right. It's a good headshot with the AK and leaves them a man down. It feels like they're going to go for B eventually, and actually Mupsg's moving forward here, but on the other side it's Freiburg ready. Not going to catch anyone yet, and actually he's going to get caught instead. Nice shot.
He's going to catch a bullet. That's what he's going to catch. Ouch. Forrest in the position, and he manages to get on the other side. He's going to roast and toast one of them and get a shot. So this is looking like Forrest's round now. As long as he can stay alive on this site, he's going to have his teammates rotating in. He spots out the bomb carrier now, and now there's full confirmation. NiP going to start the rotation in, but it's not even necessary. Forrest, the 1-man army, he stays alive. He lives through the whole thing with 9 HP.
Yeah, nicely done. Kerry was hoping Forrest would go and peek too quickly so he could kill him before he burned alive and then run out. But Forrest played that very nicely, and right now it's, Forrest's having an alright game, but right now it's Exist actually with 25 kills in just 22 rounds is way more than we would be looking for Exist to get. So this is really cool.
Well, we usually expect to see, right? Yeah. Well, they lined up there, but well, there you go, man. You curse them. Exist. Double kill for him. Combination with Get Right. Freeze taking a little bit of fire damage there. Smoke to cool him off. Get Right is a merciful god.
We're at match and map point here for NiP. 15 rounds for the Swedish team, and they were the favorites going into this, and they're going to buy in, an auto sniper to pick it up with. I feel like if I don't know. There are a lot of ifs here. I think Isak definitely managed to prove themselves a little bit, but on the second half, they weren't giving many choices essentially to get those rounds home. I think they had maybe the pistol round, and then that one round with the short plant. Those were the two big sort of chances.
Yeah, where they could have shaken it up. I mean, there is that, granted. They're not out of it yet, though. They still got 4 guys alive, 3 of them with rifles, and they've got the man advantage going into this now. NiP, they need to lock this down, and Freiburg, he's going to get caught out in the open at the mid doors. Forrest is now working his way down B slope. He leaves the site unattended, but really not much choice at this point. He's going to manage to pick up Barry. Get Right alive on long is taking a bit of a duel here as well as Zanser, who's just trying to keep his attention.
Right now, going for it would definitely be a good play for Isak. And Get Right's going to go down. Santier will drop him, leaving Forest in a 1-on-3. It's not even impossible that they could force the overtime right now. I mean, they need to win 7 rounds in a row without dropping a single one. And NiP do have a pretty absurd amount of money. Double up set up as well. But I mean, there's not going to be 8, or there's not going to be 7 straight buy rounds here for NiP. If they lose the next 2 rounds in a row, 3 rounds in a row, then they're back to ecoing and things get a little bit closer.
Yeah, 2 rounds in a row, basically. That Get Right bank will evaporate. Freeze staying with the scout. Oh, and Forest with the headshot. Top of suicide. Takes it out. Forest looking for that second frag. He's going to get shoulder peeked. Nicely done there by Isak. Keeping the pressure up, but then through the smoke, Forest picks off Zancer. Zancer waking up.
Yeah, more headshots coming through from Forest. Looks like the double up was a good investment. The auto sniper didn't do it, so, you know, switch to another scope rifle.
That was a pretty nice dance, though, from Exist with that auto sniper. I mean, he was making music.
Get Right picking up the 1 kill. Forest walking up, and that's going to leave Kiabu alone. He gets taken down by Get Right, and we're looking at a 16-8 victory. So NiP halfway predictably coming out on